Buenos dias from Palermo. This is the Rorschach Spain update from the 10th of April, 2025. Quick summary of what's going down in Spain. Begin with an update on the U.S.'s economic tariffs. Spain is urging the European Union to launch a coordinated emergency support plan for industries impacted by Trump's new 20% tariff on EU imports, which he paused just as we went to press. Carlos Cuerpo, the economy minister, emphasized the need for EU-wide response ahead of the meeting with other trade ministers, warning the nation's efforts alone are insufficient. Spain has already pledged over $15 million as part of an aid package to help its industries, especially with agriculture and food, which is expected to suffer the most. Cuerpo argued that any EU-imposed tariff as a response could generate revenue for the EU budget, potentially funding broader industry support and helping businesses adapt. Keeping with tariffs, one of the industries that is feeling the full force of Trump's changes is Spanish olive oil. Spain is a major exporter of olive oil, wine, and cava to the U.S. In 2024, Spanish olive oil exports to the U.S. averaged around $9 a liter, meaning the new tariffs adjustments will raise prices by nearly $2 per unit, a potentially devastating change for producers if it takes effect. Santiago Niño Becerra, a Spanish economist, warned that if the tariffs persist, it could mark the end of the global trade model as we know it. He emphasized that 40% of Spanish olive oil production is exported to the U.S., and the new tariffs could deal a serious blow to Spain's olive oil industry. While this may seem like a small issue when looking at the entire EU, for Spain, the impact could be enormous. Meanwhile, President Pedro Sanchez visited Vietnam and China to strengthen trade ties and boost Spanish exports. Sanchez met with Vietnamese leaders and business figures in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, followed by talks with China's President Xi Jinping. Spain wants to reduce its trade imbalance with China, as in 2024 it imported $49 billion annually but exported only $8 billion. Sanchez hopes to attract green tech investment, especially after the Chinese car company Chery chose Barcelona for its first European factory. While Sanchez has faced criticism for having talks with China, the EU has also signaled its openness to improving ties with Beijing amid shifting global alliances and the U.S. retreat from normality and sanity. Looking closer to home, tens of thousands of people across Spain protested on Saturday the 5th against the escalating housing crisis, with around 150,000 marching in Madrid and smaller demonstrations in 40 other cities. Protesters condemned soaring rents and a rise in tourist apartments. Issue of housing was once concentrated in tourist-heavy areas like Barcelona and the Balearics, but now affects the entire country. According to research conducted by the Guardian news outlet, in cities like Barcelona, rents rose 70% in the past decade based on last year's figures, while wages grew only 17.5% over the same period. Young people are particularly impacted, with 85% under 30 still living with parents due to unaffordable housing. Protesters have been demanding lower rents, indefinite leases, and an end to landlord-induced issues such as premature eviction. While the housing crisis has become a big picture issue in Spain, anti-tourism sentiments have started to gain some speed again as summer gets closer. According to the Ministry of Tourism and Industry Statistics, Spain welcomed over 90 million visitors in 2024, showing an increase compared to 2023 when there were over 70 million tourists. Now, some projections estimate over 100 million by 2040. The influx has strained infrastructure, pushing up housing costs and displaced residents. Demonstrators targeted short-term rentals and tourist developments with slogans like "Get Airbnb out of our neighborhoods." Authorities are responding, with Barcelona planning to eliminate tourist flat increases by 2028 and Malaga canceling plans for over 1,000 tourist homes. However, tensions remain high, with activists warning of more direct action. In transport news, the Ministry of Transport has announced key changes to its free rail travel scheme. The ministry has made it easier to get a refund on Renfe's train passes by lowering the required number of trips from 16 to 8 for media distancia, cercanías, and Rodiales trains. The current scheme allows passengers to buy a cercanías pass by paying a €10 deposit and a media distancia pass for 20, which is then refunded if you meet the minimum number of required trips. Starting Tuesday the 8th, passengers can request the 2 new month passes through the usual channels, either online or at a local ticket office, but these will only be valid until July. However, in Asturias and Cantabria in the north, the free rail travel scheme will continue throughout the year. From July, these free travel passes will be replaced with a €20 per month commuter pass. Those aged between 15 and 26 will pay €10 per month, while children under 15 travel free. Seems AI is becoming ubiquitous, and whether or not you're a fan, many companies are embracing its potential. The latest to jump on the bandwagon is French supermarket chain Carrefour, which has chosen Spain as a location to pilot its new AI solution using OpenAI ChatGPT. According to the company, the technology will improve the overall customer experience. Among many plans, there will be an advice robot, which will help customers by planning meals, choosing products based on algorithms, and helping the company write product descriptions, among others. We'll see. For now, it's only been rolled out to around 3,000 employees, but will eventually be available for customers. While Carrefour's stepping into the future with AI solutions, another global brand is making its own mark in Madrid. After its humble beginnings at Pike Place Market in Seattle, U.S. Starbucks has become a global household name, and in Spain, that's no different. Despite having the most stores across the peninsula, Madrid is about to gain one more Starbucks, a first-of-its-kind flagship store inside Santiago Bernabeu football stadium. The coffee houses run by restaurant operator Alsea in Spain will offer coffee tastings and will sell some hyper-localized products that can't be found across other Spanish stores or anywhere else in the world in effort to local wash. Next up, despite initial predictions, GDP went from just over 2% in spring 2023 to just over 3% during the same timeframe in 2024. According to the latest Forbes article released on Tuesday the 8th, these numbers could be down to tourism, technology, and financial sectors, but who is behind the positive numbers? Article titled Forbes Best CEOs Spain 2024 has named Spanish CEOs who have played a crucial role. Key figures include Ana Botín from the banking group Santander, José Damián Bogas for the energy group Endesa, and Oscar Garcia Maceiras from the fast fashion clothing company Inditex. Want to know more? Link to the article in Spanish in the show notes. Anyone living in Catalonia, the 23rd of April is a day to remember. St. George's Day, or Diada de Sant Jordi in Catalan, is the Catalan equivalent to Valentine's Day and involves a tradition of gifting books and roses to loved ones. The region's capital, Barcelona, will host around 500 stalls in central spots like Passeig de Gracia and La Rambla, alongside the new literary route, or Ronda Literaria, which will stretch from the Jardins de Gracia to Santa Monica in Raval. And finally this week, here's an interesting story for the tree huggers. Spain's full of bodies of water, but not all of them are by the coast. There are more than 300 reservoirs around the peninsula, surrounded by mountains and beautiful landscapes. Extremadura in the west has the biggest, with the Serena Reservoir in Badajoz. It's created a thriving habitat for waterfowl and has been named a special protection area for birds under EU legislation. And that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. Enjoying the update? We hope so. Want to chat, toss us an idea, or ask us something? Email us at info@rorschach.com. Hasta la próxima.